Hi there everybody, welcome back to the channel. You're watching A Ritter Bit Will Do. My name is John and behind me is my Kubota BX23S. A few videos ago I put a video out there that I titled The Top 5 Things That I Don't Love About My Tractor. At the end of that video I said there's at least 5 more things that I can think of that I would add to that list. Well, I did. I made a list. In fact, it's got more than 5. It's got about 10 different other things that I would change about this tractor. But those are things that I think Kubota should change at the factory level. So if you're a Kubota owner, let me know if you agree or disagree with my list. And if you are in the market for a Kubota BX tractor, make sure that you watch this whole thing, take careful notes, and make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. All right, let's get started. Before we get into the additional things that I thought of that I don't love about my tractor, let's do a quick review. First off, this seat. It is as hard as a rock, and I don't understand it because Kubota makes a seat that they put on their zero turns that is very comfortable. Why don't they put it in their tractors? I don't understand. Another issue is with these tires. I've had about 3 or 4 different issues now with slow leaks on these front tires on the Kubota BX. I just don't think they're heavy duty enough. Another issue was the dismal lift capacity of this LA 340 loader. It's just not enough. 613 pounds is just not cutting it when every other subcompact tractor manufacturer is doing a little bit better. So 613 pounds, not very much. Fortunately though, I've got a solution coming up on the channel to solve that problem and get a little bit more lift capacity. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. One other thing I talked about on that video was this hydraulic quick release coupler. Mine leaks. It leaked at the beginning. I had it replaced. It still leaks. And I have heard from some of you though that you've had yours fixed and you no longer have any leaks. So I'm assuming, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming that Kubota actually did come up with a replacement part that fixes a leaky quick release hydraulic coupler. If that's the case, awesome job, you Kubota engineers. You got it fixed. It works great now. Now, pay attention to this video, you Kubota engineers, because there's some other stuff we got to work on to perfect this Kubota tractor. And finally, the 5th thing that I talked about in that last video was this 3-point linkage. These turnbuckles are not fun to deal with, and they're not very durable. They bend easily and they come loose easily. So what I did is I replaced mine with the Messix 3-point stabilizers, these telescoping links, and they work fantastic, especially when you're hooking up attachments. So Kubota engineers, if you would like to make that a standard feature on the next Kubota BX series, that would be a huge improvement. All right, now let's get on with those additional things that I think Kubota could still improve on this tractor. I just want to be clear before I start talking about all the other things that could be fixed about this tractor. These are in no particular order of importance. No priorities here at all. They're all something that I believe, in my opinion, that could be changed, fixed, improved upon when making the Kubota BX series. Let's get started. We're going to start right away with a 3-for-1. There are 3 things underneath this tractor that I believe could be improved upon. Come on under here and I'll show you what they are. The first thing I want to talk about is this fuel filter. It's just in a terrible location, almost smack dab right in the middle of the tractor underneath. And it is a pain in the butt to replace. Not very fun to deal with. And then, after that, look behind the fuel filter. Do you see that HST fan? That is in a very vulnerable spot. It is so easy for sticks to get up in there and break all of those blades off of that fan. It's a common issue that you see on all of the forums and on Facebook. And the other thing I want to point out is look at all these electrical wires here. We have our fuel line, and then we have some electrical wires running along with it. Just seems very vulnerable and unprotected under here. So Kubota, you need to do a better job of making some of this more accessible, less vulnerable, and protect the underside of the tractor a little better. Another improvement Kubota needs to make is using a better material for these steering linkage boots. These boots of mine are all torn up, and it happened to my BX25 as well. But here on the BX23S, they're all tore up and they need to be replaced. So I don't understand why Kubota doesn't use a better product or a better material than they do. So what I did is I went online, I got myself a set of these Bota boots. It's Bota boot kit from Bota Products. So if you're looking for a set of replacements, you can get these. They're supposed to last a lot longer, and that's on my to-do list. That'll be something I do before it snows. This is the original grill guard that I had on my tractor, and as you can see, it doesn't really cover much. There's a lot to be exposed on the underside and the top side from branches and sticks getting up in there and busting this plastic grill back here. So I replaced that with this Messick's grill guard, and it covers a lot more square inches than the original did. So that's a big improvement Kubota could make as well. These are the marker indicator lights that Kubota chooses to use, and they're pretty vulnerable to getting knocked off by whatever you're driving by, especially sticks or branches. I only have one left, and this is it. This is the only one I have left. My other one kind of got torn up, and I don't really know how, because my cab structure here itself kind of protects the light from getting knocked off, but I still managed somehow to lose one. So I made a different improvement upon these that I'll show you in a different video, but this right here, these are not the best lights that Kubota could be using. I don't know why, but for some reason Kubota still decides to use these cheap halogen light bulbs, and they're not very bright. So what I did, if you can see in there, I have a LED bulb that I replaced my headlights with, and it's a lot brighter than this halogen. Now, even though I have this bigger grill guard here, you're still going to want to get yourself some auxiliary lighting, whether you put them here up on your cab like I did with some LED lights, or off to the side over here. These really make a difference when I'm plowing snow, and I have them on the rear as well. So it really makes a world of difference. It brightens up my mood, and I can actually see what I'm doing at night. Has anybody else had issues with your throttle lever? Because I have, and mine has come loose to the point where it just does not want to stay at the RPM that I set it at. It would just easily move by itself. So what I had to do is I had to go under here and take some stuff apart, and then find that jam nut and tighten it up real tight. So mine is really tight now. It doesn't move from whatever setting I put it at. But it's an issue, and I did see on a Bobcat tractor, they had a really nice sliding lever that just kind of went up and down. It was right here up on the dash, and it wasn't in the way. It didn't have this protruding lever that came out here, and I think it was a better system. So not that big of a deal, but I still think there's room for improvement on the throttle lever as well. The BX tractor by itself is not very wide. The tire width is just pretty narrow, and it's prone to tipping over. And a lot of people actually do tip their BX tractors over, especially when they've got something in the loader and it's up a little high. But because the tractor is not very stable, what I did to remedy that problem is I added some 2-inch wheel spacers, and I can't believe what a difference that made. Just 2 inches, so 4 inches overall, and it made a world of difference. It gave me a sense of security that I'm not going to tip over, and it's just a great added safety factor. So if you could just make the rear axle just a little bit wider, it really makes a world of difference. When the BX80 series first came out, I heard they were offering a toolbox, and I was really excited. And then I got to my dealership, I sat on one of the BX tractors, and I realized how small and pathetic the little toolbox was. As you can see, all I have room for is a small little adjustable wrench and some pins and some nuts and bolts, and that is really about it. So it's a pretty pathetic little toolbox, but at least it's a toolbox. So hopefully when Kubota comes out with their next series Kubota BX tractor, maybe they'll offer a little bit larger toolbox. One thing I'm really hoping that Kubota makes a change to is this 3-point system. This valve right here is what they call a 1/4 inching valve, and if I go up, it returns to center. If I go down, it returns to center. I really wish they would use a position control valve where if I could go up to a certain spot, keep it there, and that's where the 3-point system would go to, or I could put it down and it would do the same thing. That would be a huge improvement and make the 3-point system so much more functional. The 1025 John Deere tractor has been using a position control valve for quite some time now. So Kubota, it's time to catch up with the times. Let's make that a position control valve. The biggest reason I made this video today is not just to complain and whine about stuff, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm really hoping that somebody at the Kubota Corporation sees this video. Maybe an engineer, somebody on the design team, corporate level, whatever. Maybe they see this, they realize, oh, those are some things, he talked about some things that we could improve upon. And then in the next series of Kubota tractors, we're happier tractor owners because someday I'm going to upgrade this tractor. I'm going to get a different tractor, a newer tractor. This isn't going to last me forever. It's been a great tractor, but there's some things that could be improved upon. And that's the biggest reason. So here's where you guys come in. Help me out. What I miss? What would you improve upon? I know there's a lot of BX tractor owners that watch the channel. What could be improved upon? What can you think of? Put it down in the comments. Also, let me know, if you're in the market for a Kubota BX, maybe you're a first-time tractor owner, did I change your mind? Because there's some competition out there. There's some other tractor brands that are making just as good of a tractor and adding more options to it that make it a little bit more appealing. So check out the other brands. You don't need to be loyal to Kubota. Kubota's a great tractor that's got a great engine in it. I'm really happy with it, but there's some other brands out there right now that are pretty competitive. So I'd shop around, I really would. So guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to check out this video and sticking around as long as you did. I really appreciate that, supporting the channel. You're doing a great job by being a good YouTuber. Subscribe, like, comment down below. Don't forget, I want to know your thoughts, please. And hopefully you'll check out our Facebook group. Ritter Bit will do. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. And as always, until next time, keep on tractoring and God bless.